How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth, all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright! I'll be with you the whole way! Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's so much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! Oh, I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down! And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name! Profession! Now! Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call to the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said in court, I am a professional.
Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Star was a detective?
Aha! I know who you are! Cough up!
Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady?
If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Okay, so now we have the floor plans. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor.
It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait! Are they talking about me? Okay, well, we have a general overview of what happened. Let's hear this testimony, then.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright!
I love me a good Monty Python reference. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. It's merely a flesh wound. Okay, well, let's see. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox when I sensed something through the wire fence. That would make sense. Chief prosecutor was holding the knife in her right hand, and then she thrust the pointy tip into Goodman's chest. Let's see, what exactly do I have? Goodman's ID, King of Prosecutors, Edgeworth's Knight, parking stub. Maybe time might be helpful for that. There's the autopsy report. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. There's Lana, and that's all I really have. Okay, I don't really have anything immediately, so let's just press her and see what we can find. How did you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired.
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. Okay, that's very interesting. So, she definitely has a bias, no matter how much she says otherwise. Unfortunately, recognizing a bias and actually proving it are two very separate things. This boyfriend, he's the detective?
Not that boyfriend. The security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and that other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there.
That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime.
Okay. So yeah, so she was in B block. Okay, we can slide over there. That is a fast sliding. Okay. I mean, potentially there's perspective. And the security room, okay, so where Edgeworth is blocked, or is parked, is being blocked by that one piece of the wall. That's assuming that goes up to the ceiling, which I'm guessing it does, considering the proportions that we have here. So Edgeworth's car is completely blocked off by the security room. So only Star could have seen it in that case. Okay, I sent something was I finally honed detective's intuition. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like... how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective?
Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be a hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind.
Okay, still nothing, really. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor. By garish car, you mean?
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it?
Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away.
I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. If we don't always have proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, Rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me.
I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. Could you cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over, and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Okay, this suddenly got a hell of a lot worse for us. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Okay. So, moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. Okay. So, she has her left hand on the trunk of the car. Her right hand is down. Interestingly enough, her hand doesn't have the bandages. And it looks like the cloak is, like, Goodman's? Doesn't look like anything Lana would wear. Okay, prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person.
Huh? Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor?
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Okay, then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime? You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that!
Okay, so we have... I get the feeling it's holding a knife in her right hand. It's either the pointy tip or holding the knife in her right hand. Wait a minute, I can check this. I don't think I've ever checked Edward's knife. Hold on.
This must be the victim's blood, right?
Either that or Edgeworth's cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway?
Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild.
Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely.
Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman.
Now there's a scary thought. Imagine Edgeworth going after a bear. Okay, so we have the blood there. Is there anything else? Hold on a sec. It said the pointy end. I'm not seeing anything else. Wait a minute, I can zoom in. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. The blood on the knife isn't at the tip. It's at the blade portion. So it wasn't a stab, it was a slash. I'm not seeing anything that would be indicative of, like, fingerprints or anything. But the blood on the knife does indicate a more slashing motion than a stabbing. Because if it was a stabbing motion, then the blood would be just around this area, right here, where it penetrated the heart. But it's not. It's here at the more blade portion, especially just throughout the portion here. It feels definitely more of like a slash than a stab. Then she thrusts the pointy tip of the knife. I think this is actually it. Because it wasn't the pointy tip of the knife. It was a slashing motion. It's the only thing I've got. Your Honor. That. Oh, crap. Crap. Okay, so that didn't do anything, and that already cost me a point. I've tried to avoid save scumming up to this point. I might have to resort to that. So that wasn't it. Hold on, I can check all of these, actually. Huh. I didn't realize I could literally check everything now. Hold on.
Hey, check it out! There's a metal plate here!
Huh. Looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it.
Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime.
When she says it, his name does kind of have a ring to it. Yeah, let's maybe not. Okay. Yeah, nothing about the broken shield. Nothing really about this really stands out. Do we have anything else? The parking stub? Miles Edgeworth, 7/12. This is dated the day of the crime.
The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair.
Perhaps.
It just goes to show you, you'll never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light.
Okay, well that didn't really tell us anything. Nothing on the back of here. It looks like a magnet! Okay. That's just a picture. Which, weirdly enough, there's a handprint on there, but whatever. The autopsy report. Date and time of death between 4 and 5:30. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. But she said about 4, and I don't think anything's really there. There's this. That doesn't really tell me anything. The cell phone. And the photograph. Okay. Holding a knife in her right hand. Again, I'm wondering if maybe
there's anything about this, but I don't see anything that would naturally make me believe that this was, like, specifically, like, a left-handed knife or anything. I'm trying to think. Yeah, actually, no. Her bandages are on her right hand. Man, this is tough. Let's see. Because it's gotta be one of these two. Let me press these again, maybe see. Tell me more. Was about 4 inches long. We know it's about 4.5. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The defendant was holding a knife. And was there anything here? I realized what was going to happen. It was already too late. Yeah, like, I'm looking at this. It does look like a right hand sort of thing. But again, like, her bandages. Oh, actually, no, that is the coat that she had on before. Okay. So I was mistaken. Chief Prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. So no, this is actually quite difficult because unlike before, none of her testimony has been changed. Let's see. I'm still caught up on holding a knife in her right hand or the pointy tip into Detective Goodman's chest. This plus the knife doesn't actually do anything. Unfortunately, she doesn't give times either. Entered at 5:12. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Which, I mean, makes sense between 4 and 5:30. Loss of blood from a chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. She doesn't say it was multiple stab wounds. And the testimony itself doesn't mention the knife length. Just going in the detail, she says it's about 4 inches and it's about 4.5 inches. So yeah, that doesn't contradict anything. Man, this is tough. 1 knife wound. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think looking at his ID is going to tell us anything more. Name and ID are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Let's see. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Yabba Dab? What is... Well, that does have a certain ring to it. Exactly my point! Okay, so I mean, that's looking at this. That's... I'm still trying to think what exactly I'm supposed to do here. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. So, I mean, it would assume that she broke into Edgeworth's car or something. Record of parking in the prosecutors entered the lot at 5:12, and the murder is assumed to have happened around 5:15. Although, it says died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m., so he could have died anywhere between 4 and 5. There's the note here, which doesn't tell us anything. Lana made a call to Emma at 5:18, which only lasted a few seconds. This is tough. This is honestly really tough. Well, I'm wondering if maybe the map? Okay, so Edgeworth's car is right there. You have the chain link fence that goes down there. I mean, there's all the cars that are parked there. So, I mean, she got out. Would she have been able to have seen the crime happen? I get the feeling that she probably could have. You have this photo. So you see the wall back there that would hide it from the security. We got the blood stains as well. Which, honestly, that seems like a lot of blood, actually. Like, why would there be... Well, to be fair, the blood would be getting out over that. Actually, huh. But no, that's Lana's coat. That isn't Goodman's. I've already established that that is most definitely Lana's coat. So if it's Lana's coat, why is there that much blood on it? Also, I'm trying to think. Was holding a knife in her right hand. Yeah, because that's her left hand with the trunk. You've got her right hand down there. But it's not really holding anything. There's nothing about this that really contradicts that. I mean, if she had... I'm trying to think. So if she had the knife in her right hand and then stabbed at Goodman, it definitely would have hit Goodman's left side, which would have been where his heart would be. So... doing that, that's the right hand. Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, why would there be that much blood on her? That's most definitely her coat. And blood doesn't just squirt out like that so much. This is hard. Unless I'm just going to randomly, like, try stuff. What was going on was too late. Yeah, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I'm trying to think maybe the picture here, because these pictures never lie. Let's see. So she brought down the murder weapon. It would have been stabbed. Again, I'm trying to think why there would be that much blood. Huh. Yeah, I'm still lost at this. Because nothing about this seems obvious. And I've also belonged to Edgeworth. Percy Shaw was no more than 30 feet away from her. Was holding it in her right hand. Okay, that's all filler. Doesn't really tell me anything. Again, that's the point. Unless I wanted to just try just blindly guessing, and I really don't want to have to resort to that. Because I'm just trying to go through everything. Everything that I have, all the clues that I have. I think for the first time in the series, I am going to put a save here. Okay, so I have a save at this point. So, in case things do go awry, I can back up from this point. Because I have to try something. I tried the knife with this statement, and it didn't do anything. I figured it was just because, oh, it's a slashing motion. That doesn't seem to be what's supposed to be going on. There's this photo, which, I mean, she's putting something in the trunk, but you can't see Goodman anywhere. I mean, I guess you could reasonably assume because that's where his body was found. I really wish that there were actual times located on here. But there's not really a whole lot I can do. Holding a knife in her right hand. Like, again, do we have any notion of what kind of knife that this is? It's about 4 inches. Doesn't seem like there's really anything else about this knife that I can examine. There's nothing on the handle. There's no fingerprints or anything. There's nothing about the knife in particular that really tells me anything. She thrusts the tip of the knife into Goodman's chest. And the autopsy report, date and time of death was February 21st. Loss of blood from a chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Which, again, doesn't contradict what she's saying. She's very careful in her words. She doesn't say multiple stab wounds. The only difference is just, oh, between a 4-inch knife and a 4.5-inch knife, which doesn't tell me anything. There's also timing here. Maybe the photograph? I've got to try something. I've got to try something here. I made the save so I can at least back up. Yo! I found it! I have no idea why, but apparently I found it. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat. But that's a black and white photograph! Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem? Except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Objection! It doesn't have to be blood. Wait! That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those
Gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves! Ah! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder. A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Okay, what? All that just so that way I could finally get the change in testimony. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Okay, at the very least we have something. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. She can prove this claim. The trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show this wasn't premeditated. Okay, so that's at least my hint. So blah, 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 blah. Murder was planned. So the only thing I have to prove was that it was not premeditated. How can I prove that this wasn't premeditated? Why would she have Edgeworth's knife? Why specifically Edgeworth's car? That's the other thing. Is there anything here? Okay. I mean, at the very least, I got something. We're able to go onward. Wound was caused by 4.5-inch knife, single stab wound. Doesn't really say anything. There's a memo here, which I still have no idea what this means. There's the phone. What with the phone? Let's see. I'm actually trying to wonder, is it maybe the phone? Blah, 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 blah. Huh. Thought I saw something. I guess not. Okay. So Edgeworth's car is right there. I mean, it's done behind the security. And I doubt it would be the photo again, since that's what caused this whole thing to begin with. So she doesn't have the knife there. She has the blood there, and it shows that she's wearing gloves, which, I mean, it seems like she wears gloves all the time anyway. Let's see. 5:18 on the day of the murder. That doesn't really prove that it wasn't premeditated, though. Ah, now I have a whole nother set of problems. What proves that it's not premeditated? The parking stub? I think maybe the parking stub. This has gotta be. How could it be premeditated? How could she have predicted that Edgeworth would have parked in that spot at 5:15? How could she have known that? There was nothing saying that Edgeworth's car would have been there. It's worth a shot. Damn it! Damn it. Okay, well there goes. So that's try number 2. So it's not the parking stub.
no prints. Well, that's also because she was wearing gloves. Okay. King of Prosecutors trophy. Yeah, given to Edgeworth at the PD the day of the murder. I'm thinking maybe this? Because Edgeworth would have been down at the police department. Okay, so if it's not the stub, perhaps this. Because this would show what... Like, Edgeworth was gone there at the time. How could she have known he would have been back? Damn it! Ah, crap. It was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Okay, so it's not the King of Prosecutors trophy, it's not the parking stub. What shows that this wasn't premeditated? This is hard. This is beyond difficult than anything else, even from the prior case. Man, they really amped the difficulty up on this one. Also blood from a chest wound, a single stab wound. Found in the car trunk. It's not the photo again, though. I really hope it's not the photo again. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. I can try it. Yo! Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor in the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Order! 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 Great! Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright! My sister's as good as free! Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned! If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness,
Please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really now?